Alright, folks, it's time to update you on the Betta Kingdom. Where is baby boy? Baby boy. Hey, baby boy. Take a look at this chunky monkey. Yes, baby boy is bloated. And after looking it up and finding the three most common reasons for a Betta to be bloated, I'm considering his high activity level, and I'm going to say that baby boy is constipated. Pause. You know, in all that ranting and running my mouth, I never did mention what I'm going to do to address baby boy's bloating. He's going to have to go on a fast. At least a 2-day fast. And then when I do feed him next, I'm going to have to sit and watch and wait and make sure that he poops. And if he doesn't poop, I'm going to have to fast him for another 2 days. But hopefully that bloating will go down during his fast. And I should see a noticeable difference. So our next update will be the results of that fast. If you look at him, he's a little more chunky on his right side, which would be your left, than he is on the other side. But he is up and down and all around and full of spunk and personality, just sassy as he always is. And I think I know the reason why. After eating his own food in his custom-made feeding ring, baby boy decided the other day that he was going to go after what was meant for our shrimpy friends. And if you look down here, there's a quarter of an algae wafer pellet sinking thingy, whatever you want to call them. And baby boy went over to it. And by the way, it was my first time dropping one of those. Really, you just gonna photobomb? And you just gonna chill there? Really? Anyway, so yeah, I dropped the whole pellet in there, not realizing that, hey, these shrimp are going to eat at their leisure whenever they want to. And of course, they all gathered around it. They had a couple of fights around it. And I guess that caught this dude's attention, because he came over there, got himself a little sample and spit it out. I guess he didn't like it. But then the shrimp, like, they really wanted, they were hungry. So what did they do? They started going at it with baby boy. But this is a Siamese fighting fish, a plakat. It is in his nature to be a tough one. So baby boy, not being a punk, just took him on. He really did. And I don't know, we might be missing a couple of shrimp. I'm not 100% sure. I know they like hiding down here in this castle, but, you know, if I look hard enough, I will really find them, like, everywhere. They are clear, so they are a bit inconspicuous. So with baby boy being constipated, I'm thinking that he ate quite a bit of that wafer after eating his own food. He doesn't seem to have a problem going up and down in the water column, so I doubt very much it's a swim bladder issue. He's not stuck sitting down at the bottom, although every now and then I'll see him sleep, which is something my last Betta, he liked to hang out at the top. Like, he would be floating and I could tap on the glass and he wouldn't move. I would know that he was asleep. This dude sleeps on the ground like it's nothing. And then when I bang on the tank, like he oh man, he's angry. Like, you can see him just running back and forth. I'm guessing that's his way of cussing me out. You know, like I woke you up out of a good dream. So again, he's going up and down the water column. I notice every now and then he does like flying up and down in those bubbles. every now and then, not too much. So that's the status of baby boy. And here's in who in the live streams have come to enjoy as their little team. This is food, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not saying that he is food. That's his name. His name is food. I did not expect him to last this long. It's been what, 2, maybe 3 weeks, and he is still he's still here. He is still here. And with baby boy being bloated, I seen him chase food once, and like he just gave up the chase as soon as that does not mean go after him. Jesus, can food live? I mean, I didn't expect him to. I expected you to eat him, but he actually got a little bit bigger. He is not coloring up yet, so I'm not 100% sure what he is. If he's a guppy, a platy, a molly, but I guess we'll see. He's holding his own. He's surviving. But one thing's for sure, he loves hanging up at the top of this water column. So there are our 2 fish, and our little shrimp family is ever present. I mean, it doesn't take long after looking for them to find 2, maybe 3 of them. They're not always hanging out together. I've seen quite a few fights. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's quite a few casualties. There may be a shrimp body in here somewhere that I just haven't seen yet. But yeah, these guys are yeah, they ain't no punks. And I've seen baby boy go after a couple of them, and they kind of held their ground. Although when baby boy gets a little bigger, it might be a different story, because baby boy ain't playing. But our shrimp family seems to be doing well. They happen to be loving, and I mean loving, this failed experiment over here. And speaking of our experiments, let's take a look at this other experiment, because I think I had stated before that I expected all of the leaves underwater to melt and then eventually grow back. However, I've come to learn that when the pothos plant sheds its leaves, it does not grow leaves back in that place. What it does is it grows roots in its place. So with that being said, these leaves are likely to regrow roots if they are to survive. However, take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that is a new leaf growing underwater. I'm shocked. I am shocked. I did not expect this at all. But hey, I guess stranger things have happened. So we're going to see where this goes. Now I'm guessing, because from what I understand, with pothos being completely submerged, it becomes basically a high-tech plant. It's going to require CO2 and extreme lighting and, ferts and nutrients and fertilizers and, all types of extra care and attention that you just don't give low-tech plants. Well, this plant was over here, and even though it's closer to that light that's up there, this one was over here on this side, and it just so happens to be right here by the front door, which we normally open during daylight hours. So I'm thinking that maybe some of that UVA and UVB light has been hitting this pothos plant. I'm not 100% sure. However, this actually inspires me to do some further experimentation with completely submerged pothos. And also, if we look back here, we have another new leaf and a stem that has actually broken. Now, on to the root system of Audrey 2, because all this back here is Audrey 2, by the way. These two plants, these were my experiments. And so the experiment is not over, because even though this one is pretty much shrimp food, there's still some stem left. I doubt very much anything's going to come of that stem, but it's not over until it's either completely gone or growing back. This one is refusing to die. But these are our two experiments. These are not a part of Audrey 2. Audrey 2 is everything that you see in the back there. Now, there are two places where Audrey 2 actually broke. In one place, that particular line that you see right there, if you remember when I first set this up, really, you're just going to photobomb again. I swear, this kid loves the camera. What was I saying? Okay, this line right here, if you remember back when I set this tank up, there was one line that was pretty much already dead. In fact, that line is actually up here. This line is completely dead. And that came from neglect. As I told you when I was setting this up, the poor plant had been neglected for so long that it was drying out and it was dropping leaves and it wasn't looking good at all. And, you know, when I put her in the water, she started reaching out. And that reaching out had more to do with the fact that she was just getting water and no nutrients. And now that she's getting fed, I mean, as you can see, there are roots exploding everywhere. I don't even know where those begin, but there's roots all up and down here. So Audrey 2 is shedding her leaves, most of her leaves, and growing roots in the place of where those leaves were. And not all those leaves are gone just yet, but over here, these two leaves, it's possible that they've lasted as long as they have because, again, right by the front door. These leaves over here, it's possible that they've lasted as long as they have because they're directly below the light source. And I should probably move that since that is inspiring growth. Probably casting a shadow down there. And other than that, we do have some leaves that are falling and slowly turning into mulm. And that becomes food for our shrimpy family. And the one that we have not mentioned just yet, really honestly, is because I've actually been looking for him as I've been talking. I do not see him. Baby boy, where's your pet snail? Where's your pet snail? Hey, Gary. How you doing? Gary's out. Okay. Gary is in here somewhere. Our nearite snail. And I've seen Gary munching on a couple of the dead leaves, but he's not going after any of the fresh ones. I haven't seen him on any of the fresh ones. And ooh, what do you know? I'm just noticing that there's a new leaf coming right there. Again, directly below the light. So now I'm coming to find that it is true that if you supply the pothos with an adequate amount of light along with the nutrition, it can be fully submerged. Because these leaves don't look like they are melting at all. That one kind of does. And I'm willing to bet that that might have something to do with that rotten vine being in such close proximity to it, because it's just got like a big spot on it. And we can actually see through here. So that particular leaf may just be suffering from the fact that It's only half submerged, and it's been next to a rotten leaf and it's dying, and etc. etc. But the rest of Audrey 2, as you know, we did a major clipping. So all these nodes here, as you can see, where the leaves have fallen off, she's already sticking out to find roots. The only place we're going to see leaves is beyond where the leaves have been trimmed. And again, now that Audrey 2 is being fed, you know, she is sprucing back up and looking a lot better. So, like, especially when we come out around here, we're seeing that the leaves are a little more vibrant and full. And look at that, we got a new leaf on the end of the shoot. I mean, on the end of the stem. So Audrey 2 is looking pretty good. And I'm trying to update you guys on Audrey separately, but at the end of the day, she is a part of the Betta Kingdom. And we are about to hit that 15-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out with this particular Betta Kingdom update. Thank you all for joining me once again. And as always, I'd like to ask you that if you know anybody suffering with any type of mental illness, to please reach out to them. You never know what difference your reaching out can make. It can make all the difference in the world. Hello isn't going to cost you. A smile isn't going to cost you. In fact, if it's going to cost you anything, it's going to cost you a little bit of time. Invest some time in our fellow earthlings, ladies and gentlemen. Because at some point, somebody's going to invest some time into you. And hopefully you will see and understand the difference that just that investment of time will make. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me along this journey. The saga continues. This is not over. Like, share, and subscribe. And remember, folks, winners are not people that never failed. They're people that never quit. People that never gave up. So don't ever quit and don't ever give up, especially not on yourself, folks. Dead Fred 821, I am out of here. Peace, blessings, be safe, be blessed, and have a wonderful day.